All right, let's talk about something every single football fan has screamed at their TV about. You know that moment when your team's perfect game plan just disappears halfway through the match? Well, what if those crazy shifts aren't random at all? What if there's an invisible game plan we're only just starting to see? Come on, you know the feeling, right? Your team is playing this beautiful, patient game, and then, boom, it's like someone flips a switch. Suddenly it's all just long, hopeful balls forward. Or the opposite, a team that's been attacking all day just clams up in defense for their lives. It's maddening. But it turns out there's actually a science to it.
And to get our heads around this, check out this wild stat from Opta Joe. Two of the scariest attacks in the Premier League, Arsenal and Liverpool, they score most of their goals in the second half. Now that can't be an accident. So it makes you wonder, are they doing it on purpose? Or is something else at play, forcing their hand as time ticks on?
To figure that out, we have to think beyond the starting 11 and the formation. See, football isn't just a game of tactics, it's a game of situations. That brilliant strategy the manager spent all week on, it doesn't mean a whole lot when you're suddenly losing 1-0 with only 10 minutes left to play.
And you know, this is where a lot of the usual analysis kinda misses the point. Just looking at a team's passing stats for the whole season gives you an average, sure, but it hides all the juicy details. It doesn't show you how they play when they're desperately chasing a goal, versus how they play when they're trying to protect a lead. It completely misses the context of the moment.
So what we really need to understand is what some researchers call the game state. And a team at KU Leuven in Belgium basically boiled it down to three huge factors that totally change how a team plays. Number one, the time left on the clock. Obvious, right? Number two, the scoreline. And number three, the venue, because we all know playing at home is a completely different beast than playing away.
Okay, so if you want to really understand how these things change a team's play style, you need a different kind of analyst, one that can watch thousands of moments at once. And that, my friends, is where AI enters the chat. Let's see how they built an AI that can see the game in a way no human possibly could.
So the whole thing really hangs on this one core idea from the study. If you really want to know a team's identity, their tactical DNA, you have to look at their passing. Are they playing it safe, short passes to keep the ball? Or are they trying those risky, line-breaking passes? That's what tells you what they're really trying to do.
The tool they use to do this is called SoccerMap, and it's this super powerful AI model that, at its heart, can look at any moment in a game, where every player is, where the ball is, and predict where the next pass is most likely to go. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a GPS for passing, showing all the possible routes on the pitch.
Now, don't get bogged down by all the boxes and lines here. The only thing you need to know is that this original AI model was smart, but it wasn't that smart. Yeah, it could look at where everyone was standing and make a great guess about the next pass. But it was missing something huge. It had no idea what the score was, or that there were only 5 minutes left. It didn't have that crucial context.
So the researchers had to give their AI an upgrade. They basically needed to teach it how to feel the game, to understand the pressure of the ticking clock, the weight of being a goal down, and, the roar of 50,000 fans screaming at you.
And they did it in 3 pretty simple steps. First, they started with what the AI already did well, analyzing where all the players are. Then they plugged in those 3 game-changing bits of info, the time, the score, and the venue. And the results? A way smarter AI that could predict the most likely pass for that exact situation.
Again, looks complicated, but the idea is actually super simple. All the researchers did was add new streams of information for the AI. Stuff like, are we home or away, or are we up by 2 goals? They fed this context right into the machine, teaching it to think about these things right alongside where the players are. That little tweak was the key that unlocked everything.
Okay, and this is where it gets really cool. Because once you have an AI that gets context, it can create these images that just make everything click. It makes those invisible tactics suddenly crystal clear. Let's take a look at what this thing can show us. So first up, Liverpool. We're going to look at how their style of play completely changes in a tied game at home. We'll compare the end of the first half to those frantic final minutes of the match. So what we're looking at here is incredible. The blue areas show where Liverpool are likely to pass at the end of the first half. See that? It's all safe, backwards, sideways, patient. But the red areas, that's the last 5 minutes of the game. And bam, the whole picture changes. It's all direct, risky passes forward. They are going for the win, and you can see it right there. All right, next up, Arsenal. This time we're going to see how a different piece of context, the stadium itself, totally changes how they play. We're going to compare how they approach a tied game at home versus that exact same situation away.
And again, the difference is just night and day. That blue area shows that away from home, Arsenal are more careful. They like to build things up slowly, right through the middle. But at home, in front of their own fans, look at all that red. They are way more likely to fire the ball out to the wings, trying to use their speed to cause problems. The home crowd expects it, and the AI sees it.
Now, looking at one or two teams is awesome, but the real magic of this AI is that it can do this for every team all at once. It can scan the entire league and pull out patterns you would just never, ever spot with a naked eye.
The researchers were actually able to put a number on it, a score for just how much each team changes its style based on the situation. So they were able to create a brand new kind of league table, not based on points, but on tactical flexibility.
So let's look at how teams react to time running out. All the way over on the right, you have the biggest gamblers, Bournemouth and Liverpool. When the clock is ticking down, they basically tear up the script and just go for it. But now look at the other end. You've got a team like Fulham. They are incredibly consistent. Their style just doesn't change, whether it's the first minute or the 90th.
Now let's look at who changes most between home and away games. And what is absolutely fascinating here is look who's at the top. Again, Bournemouth and Liverpool are still way over on the right. They're the teams that adapt their game the most, whether it's because of the clock or the stadium. It suggests this reactive, adaptive style is just baked into the DNA of these clubs.
So what does all this actually mean? It means that what feels like total chaos when you're watching is anything but. The game state is this powerful, predictable force, and now we can actually measure it. Understanding how teams react to it, well, that's the next big thing in football analysis. It's not just about what a team does, but when and why they do it.
And that leaves us with one last, kinda crazy thought. As this tech gets better and better, as teams can predict how their opponents will react to every single possible situation, how long is it before a manager's most trusted assistant isn't a person at all? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.